अभी क्लियर है? नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू गेट वाला, वेलकम टू द बार्क सेशन. ओके, ऑल इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टूडेंट्स, आई थिंक यू आर ऑल वेटिंग फॉर द सब्जेक्ट मेजरमेंट्स. हम अब जल्दी से जल्दी स्टार्ट करेंगे इलेक्ट्रिकल मेजरमेंट्स में. इलेक्ट्रिकल मेजरमेंट्स में बहुत सारा टॉपिक्स है. बार्क में वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है एंड मेनी क्वेश्चंस आर एक्सपेक्टेड. अभी वॉइस क्लियर है? ओके, तो चाहे वो एरर एनालिसिस हो, एनर्जी मेजरमेंट हो, पावर मेजरमेंट हो, रेसिस्टेंस मेजरमेंट हो, ब्रिजेस हो, फटाफट हम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे. एक बार कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए बेटा, जितने लोग लाइव में हैं मुझे एक बार कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए. चलो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन है, हम सॉल्व करके जाएंगे. सो ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, मेक इट फास्ट. आंसर बताइए बेटा, मेक इट फास्ट. प्रताप चक्रवर्ती, विराज सिंह भटौरिया, जितने लोग लाइव में हैं मुझे एक बार आंसर बताइए जल्दी. Two resistors with nominal resistances values R1 and R2 have additive uncertainties delta R1, delta R2 respectively. When these resistors are connected in parallel, the standard deviation of the error in the equivalent resistance R is dash. तो उसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है? ऑप्शन, so see here, if y is a function of, suppose W is a function of two variables, or W is a function of two variables, and these two are independent to each other. X and Y are independent. X and Y both are independent to each other. Okay, and the uncertainty in X is delta X, uncertainty in Y is equal to delta Y, uncertainty in W, that is a delta W. So this delta W is given by formula dou W by dou X whole square, uncertainty in X whole square, plus dou W by dou Y whole square, uncertainty in Y whole square. So this is the expression. Okay, so now इसके अनुसार if you see the parallel resistance 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So though uncertainty in R, so uncertainty in R, WR is equal to dou R by dou R1 whole square, uncertainty in R1 whole square, plus dou R by dou R2 whole square, uncertainty in R2 This is going to be the formula. Okay, so what is the right answer here? The right answer goes to dou r by dou r1 delta r1 whole square plus dou r by dou r2 delta r2 whole square. So option A is the right answer. Option A will be the right answer. सेंसर्स एंड ट्रांसड्यूसर का सेशन अभी तो नहीं है भैया, मैं बताऊंगा. चलो, let us go for the next question. Let us go for the next question. Yeah, try to answer this question. Suppose resistor R1 and R2 are connected in parallel to give an equivalent resistor R. If resistors R1 and R2 have tolerance of 1% each, the equivalent resistance R for resistors R1 is 300 ohms. So this is 300 ohms and R2 is 200 ohms. Okay, so this is 300 ohms and this is 200 ohms. Will have a tolerance of dash percentage. This is 300 ohms, this is 200 ohms. Okay. Will have a tolerance of dash. So answer बताइए बेटा जल्दी. No, not possible पवन कुमार. It's not possible. YouTube में PDF नहीं भेजते हम. YouTube में PDF नहीं भेजते. YouTube का क्लास लाइव देखना पड़ेगा बस. चलो. What is the answer for this question? The resistors R1 and R2 connected in parallel to give an equivalent resistors R. So there is a two methods. Here let us go with method 1. Suppose if we go for the method 1. Method 1. What is the method 1? Method 1, that is 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay, parallel. So what is given? R1 is 300 ohms with 1%. So this R1 is 300 ohms plus or minus 1%. R2 is 200 ohms plus or minus 1%. So that will be how much here? 300 ohms plus or minus 1% means that is 1 by 100 into 300. So 300 plus or minus 3, that means 297 ohms to 303 ohms. 200 ohms plus or minus 1%. 200 plus or minus 1 by 100 of 200. So 200 ohms plus or minus 2 means that means it can be 198 ohms or 202 ohms. Is it clear? जितने लोग लाइव में हैं, मुझे ये सेशन इंटरैक्टिव सेशन होना है, आप खुद से सॉल्व करना है बेटा. Just don't watch the session and give the answers. You have to involve. You have to involve, my dear. I expect everybody must involve. Okay, so now if I am taking this combination, this particular combination, so what is a 1 by R? So R is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Am I right? So if I am taking that particular combination, 297 into 198 divided by 297 plus 198. Similarly, if we go for R2, similarly if we go for this another one or another combination, तो ये कितना होगा ये? That is 303 into 202 divided by 303 प्लस 202 करना है। तो कितना आ रहा है ये पूरा कैलकुलेट करके बताइए, कैलसी यूज करके बताइए जल्दी। टू 97 इंटू 198 डिवाइड बाई 297 plus 198 coming as 118.8 ohms, and this one 303 into 202 divided by 303 plus 202 coming 121.2 ohms. So if you see the resultant कितना हो रहा है 118.8 to 121.2 ohms हो रहा है. So how to calculate the percentage error? So if you see the true value, actual true value कितना होना है, the true value कितना होना है, true value should be what, 300 into 200 divided by 300 plus 200. Okay, that means 300 into 200 divided by 500. It's coming as 120 ohms. So here he is asking the percentage. So you have to express the percentage. So percentage error 1, if you take measurement value 1 minus true value by true value into 100, so that is 118.8 minus 120 divided by 120 into 100. कितना आ रहा है? So 118.8 minus 120 divided by 120, 100, coming as 1%. Well, if you take 121.2 minus 120 divided by 120, that is also coming as 1%. The right answer is going to come as 1%. Option B. Am I right? Any other answers, my dear? You understand or not? आंसर कितना हो रहा है मुझे कंफर्मेशन दिखाइए बेटा, मुझे आंसर्स रिस्पांस होना चाहिए। ये यूट्यूब का सेशन है, लेकिन मैं बहुत सारा क्वेश्चंस आपको सॉल्व करने के लिए आया हूं, तो मैं क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकता हूं आपसे, मुझे रिस्पांस चाहिए, अच्छा रिस्पांस होना चाहिए मुझे। किरण कुमार, so there is another method, there is another method also. So what is the other method? If you see the other method, method 2, if you see, so 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So इसको partial differentiation कर लो, partial differentiation with respect to partial differentiation with respect to R. अभी क्या होगा, this is minus 1 by R square, this is minus 1 by R1 square, R1 by, am I right or not? Differentiation with respect to R करो भैया, क्या होगा, मेथड 2 भी बोल रहा हूं मैंने, 2R1 by 2R, this is minus 1 by R2 square, 2R2 by 2R, तो माइनस कैंसिल हो गया, तो 1 by R into R लगाओ इधर, 1 by R1 into R1 लगाओ इधर, 2R1 by 2R प्लस 1 by R2 into R2 लगाओ ईयर, 2R2 by 2R होगा। मजा आ रहा है? तो इज अदर मेथड आई एम टेलिंग माय डियर। ओके, तो यहां से आपको कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना है। तो मुझे क्या चाहिए, परसेंटेज इन R चाहिए। ओके, सपोज इफ आई एम टेकिंग दिस 1 by 2R कॉमन, ओके, 1 by 2R if I take common, what is going to happen? So 2R by, you see this 2R by R here, and this will be R by R1. Am I right or not? Is it clear? So 2R by R क्या होगा, R by R1 into 2R1 by R1 होगा ना, this will be 2R1 by R1 होगा plus R by R2 into 2R2 by R2 होगा। वेरी सिंपल की बात है, 2r मैं इधर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड लगाया, r को ऊपर लगाया, सो 2r/r हो गया। तो इधर एक r/r1, 2r1/r1 हो गया, r/r2 2r2/r2 हो गया। बोथ साइड्स मल्टीप्लाई विथ 100, आपको परसेंटेज आएगा ना, yes or not? So if you multiply with error, this percentage of r is equal to r/r1 percentage error in r1 plus r/r2 percentage error in r2 आएगा। Am I right my dear? वेरी वेरी खतरनाक क्वेश्चन है। बहुत सारा बच्चों को कंफ्यूज होता है, सीरीज पे तो सब लोग कर सकते हैं, पैरेलल बोर्ड तो सब लोग नहीं कर सकते, थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं इससे। तो यहाँ क्या होगा, r/r1 परसेंटेज ऑफ r1 प्लस r/r2 परसेंटेज ऑफ r2 हो गया। तो ऑलरेडी r क्या है, r क्या है, r इज नथिंग बट r इक्वलेंट। तो r इज इक्वल टू r1 r2 बाई r1 प्लस r2। सो ऑलरेडी हमने सॉल्व किया, दैट इज 300 इंटू 200 डिवाइड बाई 300 प्लस 200 कितना आएगा, 600 बाई, दिस इज 120 ओम्स ना, यस दिस इज 120। so this will be 120 divided by r1 कितना है 300, परसेंटेज एरियर 1%, एंड इधर क्या है 120, r2 कितना है 200, परसेंटेज कितना है 1%। समझ में आपको? जितने बच्चे लाइव में मुझे कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए बेटा, जितने बच्चे लाइव में हैं मुझे एक बार थम्स अप दिखाइए, आंसर बताइए। तो 1% कॉमन लिया मैंने इधर से, सो कितना होगा 120/300 प्लस 120/200 होगा। तो उसको सिंप्लीफाई करो, कितना आएगा आंसर आपको। तो दिस इज 1%, सो दिस इज 300 इंटू 200 होगा बेटा, सो दिस इज 120 इंटू 200 होगा बेटा, दिस इज प्लस 200 120 इंटू 300 होगा बेटा। सो उसको सिंप्लीफाई करो, कितना आएगा जल्दी बताओ बेटा, 1% ही आएगा आंसर। मजा आ गया बेटा? जितने लोग लाइव में हैं मुझे कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए। ये खतरनाक क्वेश्चन है बेटा, खतरनाक क्वेश्चन है। फटाफट फटाफट, बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन है करने वाला। विपिन दास, चलो लेट अस गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Try to answer this question. Match the following. Match the following question. Answer बताइए बेटा। Permanent magnet moving coil, moving iron connected through current transformer, rectifier, electrodynamometer used for what? This application, this is an instrument type. Okay. Permanent magnet moving coil is only for DC. Moving iron is for both EC and DC. And here options बताइए जल्दी. I am expecting the answer from your side. जितने लोग लाइव में मुझे कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए बेटा, मैं आंसर एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूं आपसे। आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर्स। मुझे इंटरेक्शन होना चाहिए। जितने लोग लाइव में मुझे आंसर बताइए जल्दी। आंसर बी बोल रहे हैं, वेरी गुड, ऑप्शन बी आएगा। ओके, so permanent magnet moving coil will go for DC only, so P goes to DC only, so P goes to DC only. Next, moving iron connected through current transformer, rectifier. Rectifier is suitable for both AC and DC. It's also both AC and DC. So R goes to 3. Electrodynamometer is also for both AC and DC. Okay. So moving iron is only for AC. So try to understand. Rectifier will be making DC to DC. So this is DC as well as AC. Next, electrodynamometer is for both AC as well as DC. Moving iron is only for AC. Only for AC. So P goes to 1. P goes to 1. Next, 2 goes to AC. So 2. Next, R and S both will go for 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the right answer is option B is the right answer. So let us go for the next question. Yeah. Try to answer this question, my dear. जल्दी बताइए आंसर इसका. Option 4.46, 3.15, 2.230. So this question is an application of PMMC. So here the input impedance of the permanent magnet moving coil voltmeter is infinite. Assuming that the diode shown in the figure below is ideal. Diode is ideal means it conducts only in forward bias. So the reading of the voltmeter in volts is dash. So if you observe here, it is a input is a sinusoidal waveform, my dear. So if you take this 0 to 2 pi, so 0 to pi is a forward and 0 to, so now if you see what is going to happen here. So if you see the picture, only in the forward direction. So if you see this is the current. Okay, so whatever that we are taken, that is a current. So if you see this particular V, okay, if you see this particular V, so what happens? Diode conducts only in the forward bias. So if you take the current waveform, my dear, so this is the current waveform. So current conducts, diode conducts only in forward bias. In the reverse bias, it won't conduct. So this is the current I of t. So now if you see for the PMMC, what is going to happen? So for the PMMC, if you see what is available thing, for the forward bias, the diode will conduct. So the diode will be short circuited. So the current passing at the voltmeter side, the current passing to 100 kilo ohms will be 0. Am I right or not? So 0 to pi, what is the scenario of the circuit, and pi to 2 pi, what is the scenario of the circuit? So if you see the circuit, so what is going to happen in 0 to pi? So if you see the 0 to pi, time is equal to 0 to pi, what happens to the circuit? So if you see the circuit for 0 to pi, so this is a supply and this is a resistor 1 kilo ohm. So it will be short circuited. So it is a short circuited. Okay. So current will be directly going like this. So here no current passage can be happen here. So no current goes to the PMMC. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? So for the positive half cycle, there is no current possibility for the 0 to 2 pi case. But if you see the pi to 2 pi case, second half. So if you take the pi to 2 pi, so what happens now? This particular will be open circuit. That will be open circuit, and now the current goes here. And we are going to measure the average current. Remember this, we are going to get the I average. So whatever that is coming here, I average, and whatever that we are measuring is a V average. Am I right or not? So first of all, we have to calculate the I average and V average. So for the first half cycle, the current passing through the this resistor IR will be nothing, and here we are going to get a negative current from the pi to 2 pi, from the pi to 2 pi. So how to solve this question? So हमको यहाँ voltage चाहिए, so this resistance is how much? तो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, क्या पूछ रहे हैं? What is the available voltage? So this is 100 kilo ohms and this is 1 kilo ohm. So these are 100 kilo ohms and this is the 1 kilo ohm. So what is the voltage across this? What is the voltage across this? The voltage across this is equal to 100 kilo ohms divided by 100 kilo ohms plus this particular 1 kilo ohm. 1 kilo ohm into supply voltage. So what is the supply voltage? The supply is given as how much? Some 14.14. Am I right or not? Is it clear? Yes. So what is the value here? This is 14.14. So if you see now, this is 100 kilo ohms, approximately this is 14.14 over. So हमको V average चाहिए. So V average is nothing but Vm by pi ना? Yes, V average is nothing but Vm by pi. So 14.14 divided by pi, 3.14 करें तो आपको कितना आएगा? Exactly, I think 4 point something आएगा. So the right answer for this question will be 4.46. 4.46 आएगा. Okay, the right answer for this question will be option A होगा. Am I right? Anybody any mistake? Let me know. Is it clear, my dear? Anybody any doubt? You can let me know. Option D कैसे आ गए आपको? Sorry, here one interesting thing. One interesting thing here. Actually negative आना है, but you have forgotten in this question. There is a mistake. Here minus plus है. So this is a minus plus. तो आपको जो voltage आ रहा है ना, तो जो voltage आ रहा है ये negative है actually. ये negative है, ये negative voltage है. लेकिन ये V average अगर ध्यान से देखें तो that is connected in negative positive. So here Vm by pi होगा. So V average will be minus of minus. So that will be positive. So the PMMC connections are like this. In the question there is a mistake. PMMC connections are minus and plus. Yes, yes, Pranjal. Yeah. Perfect. Question में printing mistake है. Pranjal. अंश क्या पूछ रहे? Parallel plate capacitor, a dielectric slab is introduced. The potential difference between the plates will increase, decrease, remain constant. Q is equal to CV, my dear. So based upon that concept you can solve the question. Q is equal to CV. So potential difference हम calculate कर सकते हैं. So let us go for the next question. So this question is a very famous question. आप आंसर कर सकते हैं क्वेश्चन को. जल्दी बताओ बेटा, ये क्वेश्चन को आंसर कर लो. I am expecting 32. एक सेकंड वेट करो भाई अंशु भाई. क्लास क्या चल रही है? आप कर सकते ना. अंश व्हाट आपने क्या पूछ रहे फॉर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन राइट? So there is a parallel plate capacitor. This is the parallel plate capacitor. तो इसमें डेफिनेटली इसको एक वोल्टेज सप्लाई होगा, के लिए कुछ वोल्टेज सप्लाई होगा। तो इसका प्लेट्स के ऊपर चार्ज होगा प्लस माइनस, तो Q इज इक्वल टू C इंटू V, एम आई राइट? सो V इज इक्वल टू Q बाई C ना, ओके। अगर आपने डाइलेक्ट्रिक क्रिस्टल लगा दिया इसमें, सपोज अगर आपने डाइलेक्ट्रिक क्रिस्टल लगा दिया ऐसा, तो दिस अ डाइलेक्ट्रिक क्रिस्टल, एक डाइलेक्ट्रिक क्रिस्टल लगा दिया, सर इट इज हैविंग अ परमिटिविटी, डेफिनेटली क्या होता, द चार्ज विल बी इंक्रीजिंग, द चार्ज विल बी इंक्रीजिंग, व्हाई? बिकॉज कैपेसिटेंस charge will be increasing, and obviously what happens to the C? Capacitance also increases. Capacitance also increases. So V remains constant. Energy increases, half CV square, energy increases. Okay, stored energy increases. करो भाई, is it clear? या इसका आंसर बताइए बेटा। तो दिस इज वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन। तो एरिया अंडर द कर्व आप कर सकते ना, ओके। तो ए पीरियोडिक वोल्टेज वेव फॉर्म PMMC इज गिवन, सो वी एवरेज पूछ रहे हैं, सो वी एवरेज कैसे कर सकते हैं? वी एवरेज इज नथिंग बट एरिया अंडर द कर्व, एरिया अंडर द कर्व and the time period, and the time period, okay. So here what is the area under curve? Here 0 to 10 is a triangle, so I'm ले सकते हैं half BH, half into this is the width 0 to 10, this is 10 and height is how much? 10. Next, second one negative minus 5 into 2, minus 5 into 2. Next 20 minus 12, 8, 8 into 5, 8 into 5, and the total time duration is 20 milliseconds. So 20 milliseconds. आंसर कितना आएगा उसका? आंसर कितना आ रहा है जल्दी बताओ बेटा। तो 100 by 2 that is 50, this is minus 10, this is 40 by 20, 90 minus 10, 80 by 20, so 4 volts. The right answer for this question here is option A, 4 volts. Option A is the right answer. Chalo. Is it clear, my dear? So let us go for the next question. Yeah, try to answer this question. A moving coil instrument having a resistance of 10 ohms gives a moving coil instrument having a resistance of 10 ohms gives a full scale deflection when the current is 10 milliamperes. What should be the value of the series resistance so that it can be used as a voltmeter for measuring potential difference up to 100 volts? This question is related to range extension of the voltmeter. A moving coil instrument having a resistance of 10 ohms gives a full scale deflection when the current is 10 milliamperes. So first of all, let me draw the diagram. So this is the moving coil instrument which is having Im and its resistance Rm. So if you see this, a moving coil instrument having a resistance of 10 ohms. So this resistance is 10 ohms. Gives a full scale deflection when the current is 10 milliamperes. This current is 10 milliamperes. What is the value of series resistance is asking. So this is an ammeter. Now it has to be extended to a voltmeter. So we have to attach a series resistance. So what is the extra series resistance we have to attach? So what is the extra series resistance we have to attach so that its range can be extended up to 100 volts? So it's asking here the range has to be extended. The range has to be extended up to 100. So this is the Vm. So we have to know that range extension of the voltmeter. कैसे करना है range extension of the voltmeter? Range extension of the voltmeter. Series resistance is equal to Rm into m minus 1, where m is equal to V by Vm minus 1. Here V is equal to 100 volts, but what is Vm? Vm is equal to, this is a voltage drop across this ammeter and resistor. So Vm is equal to Im into Rm. We substitute, that is 10 milliamperes, 10 into 10 power minus 3 into series resistance. So it will become as how much? 10 square and 10 power minus 3, 0.1 volt. So now the meter resistance is given as 10, capital V is 100 volts, this is 0.1 minus 1. So कितना आ रहा है? 10 into 0.1 ऊपर गए तो 1000, 1000 minus 1 999. So answer is 9990 ohms. So 9990 ohms is the answer. So option B is the right answer. Option B is the right answer. जितने लोग लाइव में है मुझे कंफर्मेशन कीजिए बेटा, थम्स अप दिखाइए बेटा, थोड़ा एक्सप्रेशन दीजिए बेटा. I'm expecting everybody's response, my dear. मुझे रिस्पॉन्स चाहिए बेटा. इतना मेहनत करके आपको YouTube में इतना अच्छा कंटेंट दे रहे हैं, आपको कुछ ना रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आना चाहिए ना? कुछ ना कुछ रिस्पॉन्स आना चाहिए फैकल्टी को. बताओ बेटा, सब लोग को समझ में आ रहा है? थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच. चलो लेट अस गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Try to answer this question. A ammeter has a current range of 0 to 5 amperes and its internal resistance is 0.2 ohms. In order to change the range to 0 to 25 amperes. So this question is related to range extension of ammeter beta. जितना हाउ मनी नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स, अगर आपने प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस देखे तो बार्क हो, गेट हो, इसरो हो, आने वाला आईईएस भी हो, आपको रेंज एक्सटेंशन पर डेफिनेटली आपको एक क्वेश्चन आने की चांस है। रेंज एक्सटेंशन ऑफ अमीटर, रेंज एक्सटेंशन ऑफ वोल्टमीटर, रेंज एक्सटेंशन ऑफ वाटमीटर, ओके, पीएमएमसी, टार्क एक्सप्रेशंस, मूविंग आयरन एक्सप्रेशंस, इसके ऊपर बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन आने की चांसेस है। So ammeter range has to be changed from 5 amperes to 25 amperes. Internal resistance is given as 0.2 ohms, my dear. तो कितना होना है आपको जल्दी बताइए बेटा। तो फर्स्ट अमीटर का डायग्राम क्या होगा, ये मीटर करंट है सर, IM होगा, एंड सीरीज में क्या होगा, रेसिस्टेंस RM होगा, एंड इसको रेंज एक्सटेंशन करने के लिए हमने शंट रेसिस्टर को कनेक्ट करना है, एक शंट रेसिस्टेंस पैरेलल में लगाना है। तो ये है हमारा शंट रेसिस्टेंस बेटा, शंट रेसिस्टेंस। तो दिस इज आवर RSH। तो अभी क्या होगा, द मेजर करंट I आएगा यहां से, so this I is going to split into two parts, IM into ISH. So this I is equal to IM plus ISH होगा my dear. So अभी बताइए RSH का एक्सप्रेशन क्या है, तो RSH is equal to RM by M minus 1, where M is equal to I by IM माइनस 1। ये फार्मूलास अभी डिराइव नहीं कर सकते बेटा, ये डेरिवेशन का क्लास नहीं है, ये प्रॉब्लम्स करने वाले की क्लास है। तो दिस इज द एक्सप्रेशन। नाउ आप बताइए क्या क्या डाटा दिया है क्वेश्चन में। ए अमीटर हैज अ करंट रेंज ऑफ 0 to 5 एम्पियर्स, ये कितना होगा, ये 5 एम्पियर्स होगा। तो दिस इज 5 एम्पियर्स इज गिवन क्लियरली। नेक्स्ट, मीटर रेसिस्टेंस, इंटरनल रेसिस्टेंस इज गिवन 0.2 ohms, वेरी गुड। Now he want to range to 25 amperes, so this is 25 amperes. चलो next, he is asking the shunt resistance, तो कैसा करना है, so directly substitute करो बेटा। तो 0.2 substitute, कैपिटल I कितना है 25 and I by IM 5 minus 1, so 0.2 divided by 5 minus 1 4, 2 by 40, 1 by 4, so 0.4 1 by 20, 2 by 40, 1 by 20, 0.05 ohms ना, 0.05 ohms ऑप्शन है, यस 0.05 ऑप्शन पैरेलल में होना। जल्दी बताइए बेटा जितने लोग लाइव में हैं, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। प्रंजल, सोबिन, रोबकिश, जितने लोग लाइव में हैं कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए बेटा, आंसर सारे नहीं आ रहे। मेजरिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं। चलो लेट अस गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Yeah, try to answer this. A average reading digital multimeter reads 10 volts when fed with a triangular wave symmetric about the time axis. For the same input RMS reading will be dash. RMS reading कितना होगा बेटा, ये नेटवर्क थ्योरी का क्वेश्चन है। VRMS for the triangular wave, VRMS for the triangular wave बेटा, VRMS for the triangular wave, that is nothing but VM by root 3 ना। तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा जल्दी बताइए, ऑप्शन बी होगा ना। चलो 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 नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। या ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन। ब्रिडजेस के ऊपर आ गए हमने, ब्रिडजेस के ऊपर, ब्रिडजेस का क्वेश्चन है। ब्रिडजेस बोल रहे भैया, बोलो। जल्दी जल्दी बताओ, जितने लोग लाइव में हैं जल्दी बताओ। Everybody must interact in the session, everybody. चलो, द ब्रिज मेथड कॉमनली यूज्ड फॉर फाइंडिंग म्यूचुअल इंडक्टेंस। अरे यार इतना इजी क्वेश्चन आप नहीं बोलो तो क्या करूं मैं। शेयरिंग ब्रिज इज फॉर कैपेसिटेंस होगा, शेयरिंग ब्रिज किसके लिए होगा? शेयरिंग ब्रिज इज फॉर कैपेसिटेंस. नेक्स्ट, टी-शॉर्ट ब्रिज आल्सो कैपेसिटेंस. Wien bridge is for frequency. A Campbell is for mutual inductance. That's it. Option A is the right answer. Chalo, let us go for the next question. Yeah, try to answer this question. A balanced Wheatstone bridge ABCD has the following arm resistance: RAB given, RBC given, RCD unknown, RDA the value of RCD and its accuracy is asking. So let us draw the bridge diagram fatafat. So this is a bridge diagram. So this is A, B, C, D. Okay, क्या दिया क्वेश्चन में? RAB, this is 1 kilo ohm plus or minus 2.1 percentage. RBC 100 ohms plus or minus 0.5 percentage. Next, RCD is unknown resistance, we don't know. RDA, so this is 300 kilo ohms plus or minus 0.4 percentage. Okay, so the value of RCD is asking. तो आपने व्हीटस्टोन ब्रिज का बैलेंस कंडीशन अप्लाई करके बता सकते हैं ना, इतना लेट क्यों कर रहे हैं भैया? तो दिस इज RAB इंटू RCD इज इक्वल टू RBC इंटू RAD होगा, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ अपोजिट आर्म्स. तो RCD इज इक्वल टू RBC इंटू RAD बाई RAB होगा. तो RBC कितना है? 100 रियल वैल्यू. RAD कितना है? 300. ये 100 ohms है, किलो ohms है? I think it will be kilo ohms only, I think so. Huh? It will be kilo ohms. I think mistake होगा. This kilo ohms. 100 kilo ohms. This 100 kilo ohms. RAD कितना है? 300 kilo ohms. RAD is also 300 kilo ohms. Next, RAB is equal to 1 kilo ohm. तो कितना हो रहा है? 300 ohms. 1000 ohms. वैल्यूज देखना पड़ेगा. गलत है? $30,000 आ रहा है ना. Suppose if you take kilo ohms, RBC 100 kilo ohms, RAD 300 kilo ohms, क्या भैया? 3000 ohms सर. तभी एक बार क्वेश्चन देखना पड़ेगा. आंसर्स 300 kilo ohms. एक बार क्वेश्चन चेक करना भैया. क्वेश्चन गलत फिल्म रहा है सर, पूरा कंप्लीट रिवीजन करवा दीजिए प्लीज. अरे वो तो कर रहा हूँ ना मैंने, जो कर रहा हूँ करे दो टाइम लिमिट में. लेकिन इधर क्या वैल्यू कम आ रहा है, सम प्रिंटिंग मिस्टेक हो गया इसमें. Bridge should be balanced means it should be 1K into 3K होना है. That means this should become. तो गड़बड़ है, वैल्यूज में थोड़ा दिक्कत आ रहा है ना, वैल्यूज में कोई दिक्कत आ रहा है. let us take this kilo 300 ohms and check answers are matching or not. Let us take this as 300 ohms. Okay, let's take this as 300. That's a printing mistake, DT operator का mistake है. तो अभी क्या होगा, AB is 1 kilo ohm plus or minus 2.1%, BC is equal to 100 ohms, BC is equal to 100 ohms plus or minus 0.5%, plus or minus 0.5%, and DC is unknown. Okay, so now हमको R DC चाहिए, that means 100 into 300 ohms divided by 1K, so this will be 1K, 1000 ohms. I think now you are going to get the right answers. So 30 ohms आएगा, 30 ohms, yes, 30 ohms. And what about the percentage error? So this is a product. So percentage error in RCD is nothing but all are the multiplication and division of quantities. Multiplication and division of quantities में percentage errors can be added ना. So it will be 2.1%. Next AD का 0.4%. Next AB का, BC का 0.5%. This is 0.5%. Next AD 0.4%. Next AB 2.1%. तो कितना आ रहा है, 0.9 plus 2.1, 3% आ रहा है. तो मैचिंग ना, 30 plus 3%. So 3% of 30 कितना होगा, 9/10, तो 0.9 ohms होगा. So the RCD का वैल्यू 30 ohms plus or minus 0.9 ohms. I think it is matching now with the key. Yes, option B is the right answer. Please make the correction. In the question there is a गड़बड़ है. That's it. क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा मिस्टेक है बेटा, छोड़ दो उसको. DTP ऑपरेटर को थोड़ा सैलरी ज़्यादा देना पड़ेगा, सैलरी अच्छा नहीं ले रहे इसलिए वो इधर डिससेटिस्फैक्शन करे. ओके, चलो लेट अस गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन फटाफट. ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन जल्दी से. Eleven people are watching, only 14 likes है सेशन के लिए. जल्दी बताओ भाई आंसर. इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है, जल्दी बताइए. आप देख के बता सकते. ए बी गलत है डायग्राम. यार डीटीपी ऑपरेटर्स क्या काम कर रहे हैं यार, पूरा गलत गलत दे रहे हैं. इधर सप्लाई दे रहे, इधर भी डिटेक्टर दिया, ये गलत है. ऐसा नहीं दे सकते डायग्राम को. सैलरी ज्यादा देना पड़ेगा बच्चों को, सैलरी कम दे रहे क्या. चलो, तो सप्लाई यू आर गिविंग मीन्स डिटेक्टर विल बी हियर ना. सप्लाई यहां आना चाहिए, डिटेक्टर यहां आना चाहिए ना. so this the detector. am I right or my dear? मैं सही बोला ना. ऐसा क्यों करते बच्चों. either दो प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं, either they are not having fear or they are not having other things. the AC bridge shown in the figure is used to measure the input impedance Z. so ये Z को measurement करना है. okay, if the bridge is balanced for the oscillator frequency f is equal to 2 kHz, then the impedance Z. So first ZAB करो. ZAB क्या है, let us take Z1. Z1 is equal to 300 ohms. ये 300 ohms हो गया। नेक्स्ट Z2 इज इक्वल टू 3, Z2 इज इक्वल टू व्हाट, Z2 इज इक्वल टू R प्लस 3 में ये Z1 ले, ये Z2 लो, ये Z3 ले, ये Z4 ले। ओके, तो Z1 इज इक्वल टू 300 ohm, Z2 इज इक्वल टू R प्लस J, R प्लस 1 बाई J ओमेगा C, दैट मीन्स R माइनस J बाई ओमेगा C। हाँ, यस। तो अभी कितना होगा वैल्यू, R इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच, क्या रे 0.398 माइक्रो हेनरी, या दिस मिली हेनरी, दिस माइक्रो हेनरी नहीं हो सकता, उसमें कुछ मिस्टेक। तो माइक्रो फैरेड्स होगा ना, इसका माइक्रो फैरेड्स होगा, माइक्रो फैरेड्स। Why? Because these microfarads. Why? Because it is a capacitor, capacitor के लिए farads होना चाहिए। So I can take this R as 300 ohms minus J 2 pi f, frequency is 2 kHz, so 2 to 3.14 into frequency is equal to 2 kHz, that is 2000 to capacitor. Capacitor is equal to 0.398 microfarads, 0.398 into 10 power minus 6. Next, Z3 क्या है, Z3 is equal to inductance, so Z3 is equal to R plus J omega L, तो इधर R कितना है 300 ohms, as it is रख दो, J omega 2 into 5 f 2000 into L कितना है, L is equal to 15.91 मिली हेनरी, तो 15.91 into 10 power minus 3 होगा। तो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, हमको क्या चाहिए ना, तो इफ यू सी हियर, एक बात बोलना चाहता हूं मुझे, Z1 Z4 इज इक्वल टू Z2 Z3 होना है, Z1 Z4 इज इक्वल टू Z2 Z3 होना है। तो ध्यान से देखो बेटा, Z2 Z3 क्या है एक्चुअली, Z2 is a combination of resistor and capacitor, Z3 is a combination of resistor and inductor, capacitance and inductor का effect product से nullify हो जाएगा ना। So this is Z2 R plus 1 by J omega C है, and Z3 is R plus J omega L है। तो यहाँ क्या होगा ना, ये inductance and capacitance are in the opposite sides, so definitely the imaginary part nullify हो सकता है। so हमको Z4 चाहिए divided by Z1, Z1 is nothing but resistor, so the inductive effect will be cancelled due to capacitive effect, then हमको J ओमेगा टर्म्स कैंसिल होगा, सो Z4 विल बी हैविंग R प्लस J ओमेगा टर्म पूरा 0 हो जाएगा, सो हमको केवल रेसिस्टर ही आना पड़ेगा। सो ये ऑप्शंस में इमेजिनरी पार्ट कहाँ 0 है, इमेजिनरी पार्ट कहाँ 0 है, यहाँ इमेजिनरी पार्ट 0 नहीं है, कैंसिल, इमेजिनरी 0 नहीं है, कैंसिल कैंसिल, सो ऑप्शन ए इज राइट आंसर। विदाउट कैलकुलेशन ऑल्सो हम कर सकते हैं, कैलकुलेशन से कर सकते हैं, लेकिन विदाउट कैलकुलेशन ऑल्सो वी कैन डू माय डियर, विदाउट कैलकुलेशन ऑल्सो वी कैन डू, क्योंकि ऑपोजिट आर्म्स में इंडक्टिव एंड कैपेसिटिव है ना, ऑपोजिट आर्म्स में इंडक्टिव एंड कैपेसिटिव है, तो इंडक्टर इज हैविंग 90 degrees phase shift of the voltage with respect to current, whereas capacitor is having phase lag. So because of this particular difference, in inductor voltage leads the current, in capacitor current leads the voltage, so definitely ये cancel हो जाएगा। so हमको प्रोडक्ट में इंडक्टिव कैपेसिटिव में J ओमेगा टर्म कैंसिल हो जाएगा, केवल R आना चाहिए। तो ऐसा कॉमन सेंस यूज कर सकते, बोल सकते ना भैया, am I right or not? अरे यार उसको कैलकुलेशन करना तो करो, आप कर लो, मैं नहीं करता हूं, मैं नहीं करूंगा। चलो इसका आंसर बताइए, इसमें क्या क्या दिया है, एक RT, एक कैपेसिटर, इधर R2, इधर R4 एंड ZX दिया है, तो आप बोलो The bridge circuit shown in the figure below is used for the measurement of an unknown element Zx. The bridge circuit is best suited when Zx is what? Low resistance, high resistance, low Q inductor, lossy capacitor. जल्दी बताइए क्या हो सकता है इसका आंसर? कैलकुलेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप आराम से ऐसा कंपैरेटिवली आपको नेग्लिजेंस कर सकते हैं. क्या हो सकता है ये? जल्दी बताओ बेटस. I'm waiting for your answer. Maxwell bridge, very good. It is a Maxwell inductance capacitance bridge. Okay, Maxwell inductance capacitance bridge. तो इसके लिए क्या होगा? इधर एक रेसिस्टर, एक इंडक्टर होना चाहिए. रेसिस्टर एंड इंडक्टर, दैट्स इट. So the right answer will be Q, low Q inductor. Low Q, option C होगा. Yes. So let us go for the next question. Try to answer this question. Consider the following statements. The compensating coil of a low power factor wattmeter compensates the effect of the impedance of the current coil. The compensating coil of a low power factor wattmeter compensates the effect of the impedance of the voltage coil circuit. What is the right answer for this question? Which statement is correct? Which statement is false? जल्दी बताओ आंसर. Excellent. Answer is option B. Why? Because this question is related to wattmeter. In wattmeter, we don't have any problem with the current coil. The problem is always existing with the pressure coil. So question is related to wattmeter, my dear. Remember this one. The compensating coil of a low power factor wattmeter compensates the effect of impedance of the current coil. No. The compensating coil of a low power factor wattmeter compensates the effect of the impedance of the pressure coil. So in wattmeter we expect the pressure coil as pure inductor, purely inductor. Ideally purely inductor we expect. This is ideal, but practically it is not. Sorry, pure resistor we expect, but practically it is having inductance effect. So the problem exists with inductance effect. That's why the statement 2, 1 is false but 2 is true. 1 is false but 2 is. So the problem exists with only the pressure coil. Okay, that's the reason. Let us go for the next question. Now try to answer this question. A wattmeter is connected as shown in the figure. So if you see, this is a current coil, this is a potential coil is connected at exactly at this particular point. So now question asked here is, a wattmeter is connected as shown in the figure. This wattmeter reads what? 0 always. Total power consumed by Z1 and Z2. Power consumed by Z1, power consumed by Z2. Answer बताइए बेटा जल्दी. Understood? Okay. जल्दी बताओ. So generally wattmeter का रीडिंग क्या होता है? वाट मीटर का रीडिंग क्या होता है, जल्दी बताओ। वाट मीटर का रीडिंग, वाट मीटर का रीडिंग क्या होगा? VPC ICC cos of phi, that is the angle between VPC and ICC. So now you see the current is the current comes up to this, and the potential coil current passing here will be 0 if it is a purely resistive, suppose 0, high resistance. So the same current travels here, so current is passing as it is here. So we are able to get the current, and potential coil is connected across the terminals. So potential coil is connected across the terminals of Z2, and current coil is also at a Z2. So cosine angle VPC and ICC also at Z2. So every reading VPC and ICC, this is related to Z2, not Z1. So the right answer goes to option D. Majorly the pressure coil we have to see. Majorly the pressure coil we have to see. The pressure coil is connected, the potential coil is connected to Z2. So हमको voltage across the pressure coil is coming. Voltage across the pressure coil is related to Z2, and the same current is traveling here because it is considered resistor, high resistance, infinite resistance. So current passing is equal to 0. The same to same current here we are taking. So both the readings, VPC and ICC, both the readings we are getting with respect to Z2. That's why this is related to power consumption at Z2. Is it clear? Option D होगा, not power consumed by Z1, power consumed by Z2 होगा. चलो, let us see this question now. Answer this question. 2-wattmeter method is used for the measurement of a power in a balanced three-phase load supplied from a balanced three-phase system. If one of the wattmeter reads half of the other, then the power factor of the load is dash. इसका आंसर बताइए. तो इसके लिए हमारे पास एक फार्मूला है, वो फार्मूला यूज करके आप बता सकते हैं ना. समझ गया बेटा? सुपर आंसर्स है. पावर मेजरमेंट में थगड़ा क्वेश्चन आएगा, तो ये तो डायरेक्ट आंसर दे सकते हैं आपने. ओके, सो tan phi का फार्मूला रिमेंबर करना है. तो tan phi का फार्मूला रिमेंबर करना है. tan phi इज इक्वल टू √3 इंटू W1 माइनस W2 बाई W1 प्लस W2. So one of the wattmeter reading is half of the other. So one of the wattmeter reading is half of the other. Yes, if one of the wattmeter reading is half of the other, so let us take W2. Let us take W2 is half of the other, so that positive आएगा. W2 is equal to 1/2 W1. Let us take, no problem. इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इसे आराम से कर सकते हैं. √3, so W2 is equal to half of the W1, the whole divided by W1 plus half of the W1. तो कितना आएगा आंसर? So this will be √3. This will be half of the W1, will be 3/2 of the W1. So W1 gets cancelled. So √3 into 1/2 into 2/3, 2 gets cancelled. So 1/√3. So phi is equal to 30 degrees. In tan 30, phi is equal to 30. So power factor is equal to cos 30. Cos 30 means by 2, 0.866 is the answer. 0.866 is the answer. Am I right? Option. जितने लोग लाइव में हैं मुझे कंफर्मेशन कर दीजिए बेटा, आप देख रहे नहीं देख रहे हैं? चलो, try to answer this question. दस बच्चे देख रहे हैं. How many of you are really attempting the BARC exam? जो लोग आपको सेशन को देख रहे हैं इसमें how many of you are attending the BARC exam? How many of you are passed outs? How many of you are fourth years? How many of you attempted the recent GATE electrical paper? How many of you are expecting your GATE score as more than 45? Me sir, but iron stream. Oh, instrumentation बोल तो बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. Next. Only one student. What about others? How many of you are expecting the recent GATE score as more than 45 marks in electrical paper? So if you are expecting more than 45 marks in the recent GATE electrical paper, then आप BARC exam में अच्छा लिख सकते हो. Yes sir, paper is tough. Yeah. So if you see this question, power consumed by a balanced three-phase system. The first wattmeter reads at twice of the other. Very clearly given W1 is equal to twice of the other. So question asking impedance angle. Impedance angle means cos phi. So आप directly tan phi का formula use कर सकते हैं. So tan phi is equal to √3 into W1 minus W2 divided by W1 plus W2 लिख सकते इधर. Okay. So directly W1 is equal to twice of the other 2W2 लिख सकते इधर. 2W2 minus W2. This is 2W2 plus W2. So कितना होगा? This will be √3. This is W2. This is 3W2. Same to same answer आ रहे हैं ना? So 1 by √3 होगा. So 1 by √3 means phi is equal to 30 degrees आएगा. But is asking in radians. तो आपको पता है 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. So you know that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. Okay. So 30 degrees is equal to how many radians? 2 pi by कितना आ रहा है आंसर? 2 by 180. Pi by 6. 30 degrees is equal to pi by 6. Am I right? Pi by 6 radians. So option C is the right answer. (32) Tobin, I'm expecting 32. 32 is the expectation in iron cutoff. Okay. आंसर बताइए बेटा इसका. The pressure coil of dynamometer type wattmeter is dash. आंसर बताइए. इसका आंसर बोलना है. आप जितने लोग इलेक्ट्रिकल बच्चे को ये आंसर बोलना है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ आवर इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टूडेंट्स हियर? एक बार राइज अप कर दीजिए हैंड्स. इट इज नॉट ए नॉर्मल सेशन माय डियर. जो क्वेश्चंस मैंने बोल रहा हूं इसमें से डेफिनेटली आपको बार्क में आने वाला है क्वेश्चंस. जितने लोग इलेक्ट्रिकल बच्चे ध्यान से सुनो. मेरा मेजरमेंट्स का क्वेश्चंस डैम श्योर क्वेश्चंस है. मेरा क्लास से मेजरमेंट्स का क्वेश्चन बहुत सारा टाइम्स आईईएस में, बार्क में, गेट एग्जाम में डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. 40 मार्क्स आ रहा है इस बार. इतने पे कुछ मिल सकता है आईएन में. कुछ तो कुछ आपको एनआईटी में एमटेक मिलेगा भैया. डोंट वरी. अगर आपको रिजर्वेशन है थोड़ा, आपको सपोज इफ यू हैव अ रिजर्वेशन, कुछ ना कुछ एनआईटी में एमटेक मिल सकता है. बट आई कांट श्योर दैट पीएसयू. ओके. द प्रेशर कॉइल जनरली प्योरली रेसिस्टिव एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम. वी एक्सपेक्ट प्रेशर कॉइल as purely resistive and that too high resistive. Then only the current passing is very zero. So then what happens? The current passing through the pressure coil and the voltage in the pressure coil, both will be in the same phase. We expect VPC and IPC, but when it comes to practically क्या होगा? Practically pressure coil is inductive as well as inductive and resistive होगा ना. So this is a pressure coil diagram है ना. So inductive plus resistive की वजह से क्या होगा? So if you see the diagram, so this is the VPC and this is the, so there exists a phase shift between the VPC and IPC. Am I right or not? There exists a phase shift between the VPC and IPC. Okay? And हमको power factor angle कहाँ से आएगा? Power factor angle is nothing but between VPC and ICC ना. So this is VPC and ICC. So this angle is phi, whereas this is the error. This angle is beta. This is the error. Pressure coil beta is the angle of error because of pressure coil inductance effect. मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन अभी तो सेशंस बहुत टाइट है बेटा, देखना पड़ेगा. मेरा हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं है. ओके हेलो. हाँ हेलो एवरू. Can anybody tell me the formula for this percentage error? एक बहुत अच्छा important formula है इसके लिए. So percentage error due to pressure coil inductance. Pressure coil inductance is what? Plus or minus tan phi to tan theta. So that is the error. Am I right? Is it clear, my dear? Very good. Tan phi, tan beta. Excellent. 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 15 people are watching the session. Badhiya. Chalo, let us go for the next question. इसका आंसर बताइए बेटा जल्दी. A stationary closed Lissajous pattern on oscilloscope has 3 horizontal tangencies and 2 vertical tangencies. For a horizontal input with a frequency 3 kHz, the frequency of vertical input is dash. ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. So आपको इसके लिए आंसर क्या हो सकता है? फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ y axis, frequency of x axis is equal to number of horizontal tangencies divided by number of vertical tangencies. Opposite रहेगा. Okay, horizontal tangencies and vertical tangencies. A stationary closed Lissajous pattern on oscilloscope has 3 horizontal tangencies. 3 horizontal tangencies and 2 vertical tangencies. Okay, so it is having 3 horizontal tangencies, 2 vertical tangencies for a horizontal input with a frequency of 3 kHz. So frequency along x-axis 3 kHz. So what is the frequency of the y-axis? That is 3 by 2 into 3 kHz, 9 kHz. So this is 3 by 2 into 3 kilohertz. So this will be 4.5 kilohertz. Take answer 0.5. So the right answer will be 0.5. Option D is right answer. Bahut badhiya. Okay. So don't miss this type of questions, my dear. Answer this question. जल्दी बताओ बेटा. आंसर क्या है? In an oscilloscope screen, linear sweep. Linear sweep means what? That is a time based signal. Linear sweep बोलो तो क्या है? Time based signal. So always this time based signal किसको apply करेगा? This time based signal किसको apply करेगा? This is time based signal, sawtooth waveform. So this what is the purpose of this time based signal? To provide the delay at the time axis. So that is always given to horizontal axis. For vertical axis we will give the signal. For the horizontal axis we will give the time based signal. Let's go for the next question. Try to answer this question. Two sinusoidal signals this is, let us take P, let us take this is P. P W1 comma T is equal to A sin omega 1 T and Q W2 comma T are applied to X and Y input of a dual channel CRO. The Lissajous figure displayed on the screen below. This is a Lissajous figure displayed on the screen below. The signal Q will be represented as dash. Okay. So what is giving? There is a signal P. Its amplitude is same, but frequency alag hai idhar. So if you see, this is sin omega 1 T. Next Q, if you see another signal Q, and amplitude is we don't know, and definitely its frequency is different. There is a frequency difference W2. This is running with a frequency W2. Q is running with a frequency W2. P is running with a frequency W1. ये दोनों के बीच में कुछ relation है. हमको relation ऐसा आ गया. So now how to make the symbol? So question is asked for what? Question is asked for what is the signal for Q? Can anybody tell me here? क्या हो सकता है? Anybody? So if you see this particular diagram, so it is nothing but 8. It is nothing but 8. So क्या मिल रहा है इसको? 8 मिल रहा है. So if you see the horizontal tangencies and vertical tangencies, so frequency applied the Y plates to the frequency applied the X plates is equal to number of horizontal tangencies divided by number of vertical tangencies. So इसमें रिप्लेशन क्या रहा है? Number of horizontal tangencies 2, vertical tangencies 4. So 1/2 आ रहा है ना? So 1 by 2 Rn. So the relation between this Fy and Fx will be 1 by 2. So frequency applied for the Y plates, must be half of the frequency applied for the X plates. So here two sinusoid signals applied to X and Y. So P is applied to X and Q is applied to Y. That is the point you have to understand. See the sequence. P and Q applied to X and Y. That means P is applied to horizontal plates, okay, and Q is applied to the vertical plates. So हमको horizontal plates. So this the P signal is given. Okay. So frequency of Y होगा. So frequency of Y is related to Q. Frequency of X related to P. So definitely हमको क्या होना चाहिए? उसका by 2 होना चाहिए. So definitely Q will be equal to W1 by 2 होना चाहिए. Am I right or not? So Q का frequency जो है ना, so definitely that will be half of the Fx. So Q of W2 will be equal to P 1 by 2 of, so Q का frequency क्या दिया है? W2 and इसका frequency क्या है? W1. So definitely W2 is equal to half of the W1 होना चाहिए. So that relation should hold here. So which is matching here? W2 is equal to, so options, this can be eliminated, this can be eliminated. ये क्या है? दो ऑप्शंस है इधर. तो ऑप्शन बी है, ऑप्शन डी है. तो इसमें से क्या हो सकता है? So it is having phase shift. Here there is no phase shift. So which can be the right answer? जल्दी बताओ. दोनों में क्या हो सकता है? ऑप्शन डी हो सकता है ना? ऑप्शन डी होना चाहिए, क्योंकि दोनों के बीच में फेज शिफ्ट भी होना चाहिए. Because if you see the amplitude here, if you see the amplitude, कैसा आ रहा है amplitude? देखो, plus minus 0, so this is a peak आ रहा है. So if the Q omega 2 comma t is equal to a sine of omega 1 t plus phi. Suppose if I am taking this angle as 90 degrees, तो क्या होगा? ये a cos omega 2 t होगा. Okay, so then it is matching the circle perfectly. a cos omega 2 होगा. Okay, तो आप अप्लाई करके देख कर सकते हो इंडिविजुअल इक्वेशंस को. आप अप्लाई करके देख सकते हो. सी हियर, P is equal to what? P is equal to a sine omega 1 t. Q is equal to a cos omega 2 t. So here this I can write as a sine 2 pi f, that is 2 pi by capital T into t, and this is a cos, this is 2 pi f2, 2 pi f2. This omega 2 is equal to half of the omega 1. Omega 2 is equal to half of the omega 1. Omega 2 is equal to half of the omega 1. half of omega 1 into t. So A cos half of omega 1 is equal to 2 pi by t, 2 pi f, pi by. So this is A cos pi by t into, so this is the Q signal and this is the P signal. So now if you apply this t value is equal to particular t, small t value is equal to 0, okay, positive, pi by 2, then you are going to get the signal. Okay, so that is going to match with that particular signal. So option D होना चाहिए. Circle बनेगा, yes. When the phase shift is exactly 90 degrees, then only we are going to get the circle. और आप कर सकते हो, अगर t is equal to 0, at t is equal to 0, you can do the value of P and Q. At t is equal to t by 4, what is the value of P and Q? At t is equal to t by 2, what is the value of P and Q? At t is equal to 3t by 4, what is the value of PQ? At t is equal to t, what is the value? If you do, you are going to get a circular pattern. Okay, so that's why there exists a circle here. So that's why the right answer is option D. Individually आप कर सकते हो, लेकिन आप देखते ही बोल सकते हैं. ओके, समझ में आपको ये क्वेश्चन? बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, क्योंकि दो ऑप्शन है इधर, ए साइन ओमेगा 2 है, ए कॉस ओमेगा 2. थोड़ा ध्यान से देखना है. as per the pattern the circular pattern is forming both at the above and below. So that's why you are going to get this as 0 and we are going to get this as see here. So if you see this pattern here, this is plus a and this is 0 and this is minus a. ऐसा amplitude लेके कर सकते हैं आप, circular pattern. Okay, so let us go for the next question. Answer for this question. आंसर क्या है? The current is measured in an electrical circuit as 5 amperes with an accuracy of 0.5 ampere. This current is flowing through a resistor. So suppose if you take this as supply, okay, this is the resistor. So this is the current, this is the resistance. So what is the value he has given? The current is measured as 5 amperes with accuracy. So 5 plus or minus 0.5%. This current is flowing through resistor 5 ohms plus or minus 0.25%. Then the power dissipated is asking. So directly हम बोल सकते हैं power is equal to I square R. So that is I square into R. So 125. This is 125 watts directly. So 125 watts में so 25 watts cancel हो सकता है. Next, what about the power error, percentage error in power? So we can multiply percent power is equal to percentage error in I plus percentage in I plus R. So what is the percentage error in I? 0.5 plus 0.5 and 0.25. So कितना हो रहा है? 1.25% हो रहा है. So 1.25%. Option B is the right answer. Am I right? Option B is the Anybody any doubts? So let us go for the next question. Answer this question, my dear. Fatafat. The current in the two branches of circuit is equal to I1 plus I2. The value of I1 is equal to 80 plus or minus 2 amperes. and I2 is equal to 120 plus or minus 1 ampere, then the value of I, if the limits errors are given as standard deviations. So absolute errors he has given. So from this we have to calculate the that one. So definitely 80 plus 120. जल्दी बताओ बेटा. Option B or A. The current in the two branches of the circuit I is equal to I1 plus I2. Absolute error दिया है 2 amperes and 1 ampere. ऑप्शन ये होगा ना. ओ ऑप्शन डी आ गया आपको. तो कैसा करना है? Okay, let us see this. I is equal to I1 plus I2. It will come. Dou I by dou I1, if you do, that is the standard deviation, partial differentiation of this, that will be 1. Dou I by dou I2, 2, that also 1. Standard deviation in I1 is given as how much? Limiting errors are given as standard deviations. So that is 2 amperes. Standard deviation in I2 is given as what? 1 ampere. That is the beauty of this question. So now standard deviation I is equal to partial differentiation of this with respect to this whole square, sigma in I1 whole square, and this is dou I by dou I2 whole square, sigma in I2 whole square. You understand? Why? Because he has expressed very clearly as like errors are expressed in terms of standard deviations. अब ये आंसर इसका कितना आ रहा है देखो, दो I by दो I1 that is 1 square and standard deviation I1 that is 1 square plus दो I by दो I2 that is 1 square sigma I2 1 square. So आंसर कितना आ रहा है? 1 plus 1 root 2 आ रहा है ना. अच्छा here 2 square, sorry, it's 2 square. So 4 plus 1 root 5 आ रहा है. रूट 5 बोलो तो कितना? रूट 5 बोलो तो एग्जैक्टली कितना आ रहा है? स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 5 2.23 आ रहा है ना. 2.23. So this is the 2.23. The right answer here is 2.23 भी आना चाहिए. So the right answer is option D. Very very good question. Very very good question. जितने लोग इधर है, definitely you are in a position to answer by using the absolute error. If you take the absolute error, so definitely what you will do, you will add the 2 amperes and 1 ampere. But he has very clearly given, if the limits of error is given as a standard deviation, that means he is going for a more accurate method. Okay, so the same to same method, if you do with absolute error, you are going to get 3 amperes. Okay, so with absolute, what you are going to get? With absolute error, it will be 3 amperes. But with uncertainty method, most accurate, 2.24 amperes. So uncertainty is the most accurate method. Uncertainty method is the most accurate method, my dear. Error को calculate करने के लिए हमको पास बहुत सारा methods है. Okay, errors को solve करने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत सारा methods है. Let us go for the next question. Try to answer this question, because error analysis is such a lesson. Error analysis में आपको बहुत सारा क्वेश्चंस आने की चांसेस है. आंसर बताइए बेटा. Waiting for your answers. The voltage is measured across a resistor by flowing current through it. The reading of ammeter is given. The resistance is given. The voltage reading is what? The voltage is equal to I into R, na? The voltage is equal to I into R. Okay. So this I is equal to how much? 10 amperes. Resistance is 12.5. So 125 volts. So first of all 62.5 can cancel. Next, it is a product. So what is given is absolute. So absolute value दिया है. So absolute value दिया है. So I is equal to what? 10 plus or minus 0.2 amperes. So how to get this percentage? So in 10, how much percentage will be equal to 0.2? So x will be what? 0.2 into 100 divided by 10. So इसका आंसर कितना होगा? 2%. Similarly V if you check, R if you check, R is equal to 12.5 plus or minus 0.25 ohms. Okay, so 12.5 में कितना percentage is equal to 0.25? So y will be equal to 0.25 into 100, 25 divided by 12.5. So 250 by 125. So this is also 2%. So I can say the answer is 4% आ रहा है ना? Any mistake we have done? 12.5, 0.25 ohms. 12.5 में कितना percentage? 25 by 100, 25 by 125, 250 by 125. 250 by 125 कितना होगा? 2% ही होगा ना? Next 10 में कितना है? 0.2 amperes. 10 into x by 100, 0.2. 0.2 into 100 बोलो तो 20, 20 by 10 बोलो तो 2. So nearest answer 4% ना? So 125 volts, percentage er 2 plus percentage er 2, 4% आना चाहिए ना? 4% आना चाहिए. So y has given 5%. 4% आना चाहिए ना? Option, yeah. So 4% आना चाहिए. Option B is the right answer. Assume two meters A and B requires 20 milliamperes and 10 milliamperes respectively to give full scale deflection. Then sensitivity independent of full scale deflection. Both A and B are equally sensitive. A is more sensitive, B is more sensitive. इसका आंसर बताइए जल्दी. इसका आंसर बताइए जल्दी. So let us take a meter A. So this meter A, the meter A, इसका full scale deflection is 20 milliamperes. Next, meter B, the full scale deflection is 10 milliamperes. So what is the sensitivity? I think all of you know the sensitivity is nothing but inverse of this full scale deflection. Okay, sensitivity. So 1 by 20 milliamperes. So that means 1 by 20 into 1000 milliamperes for 10 power minus ऊपर गए तो 1000 by 20, 1000 by 20, 100 by 2, so 50 आएगा ना इधर. This is 50. Units क्या होगा? Ohms per volt. Am I right? Ohms per 50 ohms per volt. Why? Because V is equal to IR करे तो रिवर्स में आएगा इधर. सही है ना? I is equal to amperes. I is equal to V by R. 50 ohms per volt. Next, sensitivity 2 कितना होगा? 1 by 10 milliamperes. 1 by 10 बोलो तो 1000 by 10. 1000 by 10 बोलो तो 100. So this is 100 ohms per volt. So second meter is more sensitive. V is more. Option D is the right answer. Very good, my dear. Hello, let us go for the next question. Try to answer this question. जल्दी बताओ. Which of these statements is not correct? Deviation from the true value of the measured value is called an error. So this is correct. So this is true. Next, the smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument will respond is called resolution. The ratio of the output signal or response of the instrument to a change of input or measured is called sensitivity. So sensitivity is equal to delta y by delta x. So this is also true. Next, the smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument will respond is called deviation. The smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument will respond is called resolution. The smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument will respond is called deviation. क्या है रे? The wrong answer here. This is the false statement. This is actually threshold है. Which the smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument will respond is called resolution, or sometimes best answer is not correct बोल रहे हैं ना. Not correct बोले तो option D होगा. Yes. चलो. Next. Try to answer this question, my dear. Try to answer this question. आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन जल्दी. चलो. Which of the following defines the bridge sensitivity for the Wheatstone bridge? So if you see this, the bridge. So this is our supply voltage. This is our R, this is our R, this is our R, this is our R, and here comes the detector. Detector is nothing but V bridge. Okay, so the detector is going to give some deflection. So here sensitivity of the bridge is asking. So here there is a change in resistance is going to happen. Suppose one of the resistance is going to take place, I am going to get the deflection. So output is deflection. Sensitivity बोलो तो output by input ना. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? The output क्या है? Deflection. So change in output पर change in resistance. So sensitivity of the bridge क्या होना है? Change in output for the change in delta theta by delta R होना चाहिए. Option B होना चाहिए. Okay, my dear, enough for today. Okay, clear? Thank you very much. आप आपका फीडबैक इधर रख दो एंड चलो चलो. Love you all. Take care, my dear. So I am trying to get an instrumentation session also. How many of you need the instrumentation session? Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. I am planning for instrumentation, but मैं अश्योर नहीं कर सकता हूँ. बहुत सारा शेड्यूल टाइट चल रहा है यूट्यूब में. I will ask the management to ask the management for a instrumentation session also. अगर instrumentation session आए तो हम अच्छे तरह से IN का क्वेश्चंस भी डिस्कस करेंगे. So how many of you require the instrumentation session सेंसर्स के लिए? एक बार उधर लिख दो यूट्यूब कमेंट्स के रूप में. I request the management for the sensor session. Enough for today. Love you all. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.